Jake and Lachlan are the co-founders of Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, a brand born from the simple idea that sun safety shouldn't be an afterthought.
We're in like 400 odd stores now.
Blokes die twice as often from skin cancer as women. Wear sunscreen half as much. It does make sense, like blokes are useless at looking after themselves. Obviously that's changing.
It's fucking scary starting a business. I'm sure there's plenty of people telling you not to. Before the business became what it is today, what was some of the fear you faced, and then what was the reception of those closest to you?
We put the purchase order in on June 30th, 2023.
How much was it? 75k personal savings?
Yeah.
So you boys have gone all in on it.
We spent about 135 before we launched.
We've met with some CEOs from businesses who have so much more important things to worry about than fucking sunscreen. I was sitting there being like, sunscreen's not even a blip on your radar. But they are, like, we're meeting with Australia's largest privately owned infrastructure company CEOs next Friday. We have no right sitting in that room with him, but he wants to help us.
How'd you get that meeting?
Well,
Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode of the Two Blokes One Business podcast with Harv and Ads. I nearly forgot the name of the podcast then.
I thought you said you forgot your own name. It's a full house today. We've got four in the room. We're joined by the boys from Naturally Cooked. Jake and Lachlan are the co-founders of Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, a brand born from the simple idea that sun safety shouldn't be an afterthought. Today, they're on a mission to make sun safety the standard across Australia's hardest working industries. Boys, thanks for coming on.
thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
2 on
excited.
2.
Yeah.
Desmond,
Four
if you
blokes,
will.
two businesses.
And I don't know if the cameras can see this, but this episode couldn't have come at a better time because I've been on the beach on the weekend and I've fucking burnt my lid.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
could have done with it. I actually took Naturally
boy's gonna
Cooked
walk out.
with
Don't
me.
say that. Don't say that.
That is crap. No, I forgot to put it on.
Okay.
I forgot to put it on. Sorry, lads.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. We're going to dive into, obviously, what the business is about, who you're helping, but we really want to dive into pre-launch, pre-business, right? It's fucking scary starting a business. I'm sure there's plenty of people telling you not to, especially if you're in a stable career, right? So I guess that moment before the business became what it is today and you were telling people, hey, this is an idea, we're going to go for it. What was your mindset? What was some of the fear you faced? And then what was the, I guess, reception of those closest to you?
I think, the idea was born out of, like, I was studying at uni. I was doing an engineering degree, dropped out for a multitude of reasons, personal reasons, had a lot of stuff going on. And through that period, like, I was having my own mental health battle and needed a purpose, really, like needed something to apply myself to. Like, I was capable of doing something good. So thought doing a business was a good idea. Sort of runs in the family. And we were looking for something to do. We thought doing something for men would be, the original idea was like CBD products. And then quickly looked up and it's illegal. And I was like, prob's not.
There's no word for that.
That's why you got two phones.
But that just sort of went down that path. And then we were looking for something to do. Thought doing something for men would be a good idea. We thought it'd be easier because we were young men. In hindsight, probably wasn't. Just because, like, I think like 80% of retail spend is done by women, and then blokes just don't really talk about the stuff they buy.
The ideal, if you're a retail product, would be like middle-aged women, like, like to talk about the things they spend to buy, like, to their friends. Like, if they get something with the family, they'll talk about it. Young blokes, one, they don't spend money, and two, they don't tell anyone about the things they do buy their money on. So,
anyway, so we were looking for something to do. We're like, what about moisturizer or this? Blokes sort of taking more care of themselves now. And like, what about sunscreen? And quick Google search found that blokes die twice as often from skin cancer as women. Wear sunscreen half as much, which kind of like, it does make sense. Like, blokes are useless at looking after themselves. Obviously that's changing. But then we also looked at the sort of the whole industry and it was just like super stagnant. It's very medicinal. There's heaps of brands targeted towards women and families. Really nothing targeted towards men and sort of nothing that felt like it kind of captured Australian culture in a way. Like, Australian culture is synonymous with being outside and being out in the sun, and they just didn't really feel like
And that's just
There was
put
a
it within all
cool-
brands. Like it's just
Yeah.
like at the beach, which there is for families in there. But like
Yeah.
being outdoors, being Australian, some people do as their occupation 40 hours a week, let alone what they
Yeah.
do on the weekends. And like
Yeah.
that sort of led us into this like tradies and outdoor work
Yeah.
as being a part of it.
Yeah, because we were looking for a reason for the start, and there's heaps of reasons. But big one, which made sense to us, is obviously outdoor workers. 30% of Australia's workforce, 97% of them are men.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, who are spending heaps of time outdoors, and like you don't think of a tradie and think, oh yeah, like they're super sun safe. You think like the old grizzly dudes who like. And we dug a bit further, and yeah, like what we found straight away is the sunscreen that is provided is just terrible. Like the quality's crap.
Just a box tick.
It's a box tick.
Yeah.
It's a work health and safety box tick, and that kind of contributes to the issue as well, because like everyone knows the sunscreen at work's crap, so no one's going to wear it, and then relying on blokes to go out of the way to get their own and bring it to work, and it's just like currently not happening across the whole industry. So yeah, we thought there was room for something a bit high quality, something with a purpose. I mean, we always knew we were going to donate to mental health charities even before we knew it was a sunscreen. So yeah, the idea was born, and May 2022 we came up with the idea. A month later, came up with the name.
How long did it take to come up with a name? Because believe it or not, it took us months.
Yeah. Oh, I reckon like it was a good like 4 weeks every day, just writing shit down.
Yeah.
What were some of the options?
Yeah, go on, give us a good one.
I've got a book somewhere with all the old options. Like
I remember being
they were pretty shit, but like because originally we were going to do a zinc sunscreen, and then we changed that because we spoke to tradies and like it's just too thick.
Yeah.
Didn't really make sense. But originally it was going to be a zinc, and we only so there was a lot of like sort of names that related to being a zinc and stuff like that. Came up with a name, came up with it very late at night after a few beers, and registered it the next day.
Gosh, naturally cooked.
Naturally cooked.
Yeah.
When you heard it for the first time, were you both just like, that's it, finally?
Well, Jake wasn't there. It was one of an older founder who isn't with the business anymore. But we were just sat on the couch, and we were like, I mean, we've been doing it for like 4 weeks. We'd just be like spitting names out. And then he was like, oh, naturally cooked. And I was like,
Bang.
that is
That's-
it.
that's the one.
it. Like straight away, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think
so good.
what I thought straight away is obviously that kind of young male party culture. The cooked part gives you a bit of a smile to your face.
Yeah.
Similar to Two Blokes One Business, right? I think there's a quite a clear reference to
Yeah. I actually thought about it yesterday. I was like, how am I going to put a LinkedIn post around this and not raise that? But we, from that period there, like you were saying about like leaving the jobs and like that taking leave, like we fucked around for a fair bit because that was in May and June, the name.
Hope swearing's okay on the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then October, Lockie invited me to join the business. And then that was October 2022.
Two, yeah.
And we didn't launch till March 2024. And there's, like we were saying to you before, the lead time in the green room. I've always wanted to say that. There was like the lead time came into it. We also like
We
spent
faffed
3
about
weeks in France. Like, we weren't necessarily like,
Yeah, we definitely
Pushing it.
faffed about a bit. But there was a lot to get through.
which you didn't know. You didn't know when you started. Like sunscreen, there's a reason why there's not many sunscreens launched. Like the barriers to entry to actually get into the market are so high, be it like, like TGA regulations, be it just how capital intensive it is, like getting it off the ground, like to actually, get cash into it. Like there was and being, naive.
Yeah, it worked to our favour. We were so
100%.
naive.
Yeah,
Like,
love that.
So naive. My original projections, like sales projections, are laughable. Like that. So bad, like so optimistic. I was like, yeah, we're going to, this is
But that's what you've got to do. We talk a lot about mindset on this podcast, and the number one thing that stops people leaving a 9 to 5 and going out and having a crack is self-belief. So you almost need that unrealistic projection. Like I remember when we started, we were like, in year one, let's try and do $1 million. 3 weeks ago, deciding to start the business, we were like, if we do 300K in the first year, we can at least pay ourselves a salary. And then within 3 weeks, we're going, let's do $1 million.
Triple it.
But that's the sort of lunacy that you need to have that nudge and actually go and
There
have
is
a
a
crack.
photo of us. I don't know if we'll find it at tweed in the garage where we had that whiteboard behind us and we wrote 420 million on the board in front of it. And we were like, one day, and we're like, even the next morning, we're like, what the fuck? Like, just wiped it off the board. Like, that's all right. There's lunacy and then there's that. That's just insane. But it's actually that, you know, having wild dreams, it's like something that we've actually adopted in the sales part this year. Like, when we started this year, we just put the biggest construction companies in Australia, and we're like, why not? Like, why not going there? That's getting ahead of ourselves. But
I think, like, originally, even telling people about the idea, like, everyone thought it was a really good idea. And I think it's important to find people who disagree with the idea.
Make sure not everyone's just collectively pissing in your pocket. Like, you know, get some actual harsh,
which we didn't do.
Yeah.
We didn't end up doing, but like, everyone said it was a really good idea, and we were kind of all in. And I think, like, I've always been like that, even with hobbies. Like, I'll be like all in for 6 months, and then like one day I'll just drop it. I haven't dropped Naturally Cooked, but I won't. But I've always just been super like all in. We've always been super optimistic about how it'll go. But I mean, there's highs and lows. Like, I think.
You just talking before, like the days you wake up and you know, go through there. But we had a long winter, and we were both also working full-time jobs and like balancing that, and like that was a big part of last year, is like balancing the full-time work and then, you know, making the leap from there. So it was just because
highs and lows. For sure.
How did the conversation go for you, Jake? Because I think how we first met, Halves was trying to nick you and sign you for Harwell.
Yeah. I think that was sorry, Jody and Dion, if you're listening.
I saw a video of you on there, LinkedIn, and I was like, this guy's got it. I was like, Harwell, let's have it.
Well, I was very lucky with the obviously I worked in recruitment prior, and it was a working in an organisation, and they were like very like, because I was so close, and like when I started, there was like 8 of us, and like it grew a lot over that time, and like I really like value how much of an impact they've had on my career, like both like professionally but also personally, like growing up in that business. And I was just open to them from the start. I was like, look, this is what we're doing. And then like throughout the process, and then in July last year, because I was managing a desk of a fair few temps, and it was a pretty important desk to the business, and a decision that, like, you know, Bax was talking about all in, like recruitment especially, like it's not, if you fuck around, you're going to find out. Like it's if you know, start going half-assed in it. So went down to 3 days. They hired someone who took over the desk who's absolutely killing it at the moment there. And then sort of transitioned off. And then, I remember at the back end of last, like we resigned in December. And then I said to him, we were going for a meeting to raise capital. And I was like, look, if this bloke says yes, like I'll resign when I get back here. So I was actually with them beforehand, went to the meeting,
nice.
Came back in, and then we all sat down, and like, it was really nice. Like I was like, funnily enough, the bloke who said yes, we didn't actually,
he didn't say.
We didn't take his money then, so we quit before. Cool. Yeah, but I'd already resigned, and they were all sweet about it. So I was like, it was nice.
Terrible.
Yeah. You just can't take
Let's talk about that. You've effectively transitioned careers. Like you've gone from recruitment into business ownership in a product-based business, which is Sunscreen, which recruitment's a service-based business. What were the skills that now you look back that you probably didn't know you had at the time from recruitment, but have helped you massively in Naturally Cooked?
One of them I've got a mate called Lockie Baxter. That probably helped to start with the products of it. But no, there's like, I think I found myself, like, especially this year with the sales side, like we were talking in the cafe before, like the BD side of it is the only way in recruitment is if you like really put yourself out there and are willing to get told no a lot, and like you get better and sort of learn with those no's. And it's and like when you find you're doing something well in recruitment, you double down on it and you make that thing. And that's what we've done with the business side. And like, you know, there's no target that's too big for us. Like there's no amount of work, which, you know, in recruitment, just to keep drawing the comparison, was like a temp test, the amount of numbers that I asked for. There was never a no. It's like, you can make that work. It's the same deal with the contracts we go for. And
I think like people either, you can like teach people skills, and then there's stuff that you can't teach. So like you either kind of got it or you don't. And like, he's just fucking really good at sales. Like he's just, like I've never seen anyone else have like the ability to sort of connect with someone like right off the bat.
But it's what I like doing. It's why I liked recruitment. Like I've always, like there's home videos when I'm 3 years old in Liverpool, like mum and dad tied a balloon to my hand. I'm going around like this wedding as a 3-year-old, like introducing myself to people. Like I've always just loved meeting new people, and like recruitment was a great like vehicle for that, because I got to do it. Now this is that on steroids, because it's your own thing, and like you can, you know, it'd be the same if I had a recruitment business, but like, you know, with this, like we get to connect with so many people from so many different like workplaces and just industries in general. But I think the ability to like get told no, but like learn from mistake, or also like quickly learn. Like with like our sales thing, we fucking learn. Like we received the product in March last year, going into winter. We received the counter displays in fucking June.
Yeah.
So we were selling sunscreen in Ballina in winter as our first stores. Freezing cold. Like we had hoodies on and stuff walking into these stores, but like quickly learning like what works, and like would be in there doing a pitch.
Yeah.
And like just quick, like I'd be like, oh, it's better when he says that part or when I say, and you just like, it was naturally evolving that, and to the point now where I just fall asleep doing the Naturally Cooked. It's, you know, going through there. So
yeah, you got to get used to saying the same thing hundreds and hundreds of
I'm
times.
keen to break down, I guess, pre-launch and then talk about after launch as well. You were pre-launch for you boys man for a couple of years, so try and give us the top tips here. But what were some of the research, the strategy, the hurdles to jump over? And what were they, I guess? How did you overcome it? And looking back, what were some of the things that, fuck, if we didn't do that, we'd have saved ourselves a bit of time, money or energy?
I mean, I made an effort of before, like, not before, but sort of as everything was happening, doing research. It's like, what are like the best 5 books on operations? What are the best 5 books on finance? What are the best on marketing, sales, everything? And just reading the shit out of them over and over again until it was like, you know, drilled in. So that definitely helped. I think that'd be like the number one tip I'd give someone is like, learn as much as possible. Books are the best place, I reckon, because
So good, hey?
you can go online and like look up stuff, but you're getting opinions from all over the place, and like you don't know what's good, what's not. Like a book, you know, the author, you can see whether they're credible or not, and it's just like a wealth of knowledge. And so that was a big part of it. We took it pretty slow.
Why did you do that? Was that based out of fear? Do you think unconsciously you're perhaps just putting it off, kicking the can down the road? Because it's easy to design a business, right? When crunch time comes and you go, I've actually got to go and quit.
one, it was like the nature of it, like was always going to take it. Like we put the purchase order in on June 30th, 2023. So that 9 months there, like we were ready because we were just committed, you know, for the 50% deposit. So like we were in, we realized we were in, it's 75,000.
Is that how much was it? 75K?
So that
The original
PO
order,
was seven.
It was about that.
Yeah.
So that personal savings?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've gone all, you boys have gone all in on it.
Yeah.
We're going to send everything.
Buy a house.
I think we spent about 135 before we launched.
Before we launched.
Yeah.
That's big balls.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hope so. That was a recruitment job as well. Fuck all. That's
not too bad.
Fucking awesome before, yeah. But, and the months prior to that, like, we were moving down here to, like, set up. Like, as much as it wasn't necessarily that we weren't committing. We were just, like, you know, getting ducks in a row and...
Yeah. Like we were, I don't know, we did faff about a bit. Like we didn't have, we didn't have, so the website, like because we kind of ran out of money when it came to doing the website. So like I designed the website and then found this guy in Moldova, Victor Konopliov.
Hall of Fame national.
Hall of Fame.
He was
a weapon.
Yeah.
But like we were up till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. because obviously the time zone is fucked between those two places. And our website, we launched March 16 and like the website wasn't ready until like 2 hours before we launched.
We were launching at 10 a.m. I remember at 8, he's like working on the website. I was like, oh, I'm going to go for a 10K run. He's like, what? And it was like, but yeah, the website went live and then we launched it at 10. But like the week prior to it, just chatting with Victor all hours.
Victor pulled through.
Yeah.
Konopliov.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Victor the Inflictor.
Yeah. But yeah, there was just a major, like there was those reasons as well. And then when we received the product, like we were actually supposed to receive it in October originally, like that, the timeline we'd sort of worked off and then.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
There was what was it? A cyber attack.
Yeah. So the Port of Brisbane, the company running the Port of Brisbane, because the packaging is made in China, gets sent here, and then they fill it, make it and fill it up here. And the Port of Brisbane, I think it was DP World, they got cyber attacked and it delayed the packaging by like 6 weeks. So we were supposed to get it in November, delayed it to Jan.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from the general manager.
I thought you were going to say a name. I was like, shut
no,
the fuck up.
from the general manager, and like she never called me because it was always the BDM that was doing that, and she called me. I'm like, oh Christ, so was this? She's like, oh, how was your Christmas break? Yada yada. I was like, yeah, what's going on? She's like, oh, this has never happened before, but we've filled all the tubes with the wrong formula, and we have to throw it out
No.
and start again. So that's why it was delayed to March.
So then it kicked us out till March.
So you had to wait for new packaging from China.
new
They
product.
covered the cost.
Yeah, they
yeah,
covered it
but it was
anyway.
just, it was more the time
Yeah,
lost
big
than the
time.
actual, like they were like, yeah, like launching a sunscreen business. Like, and it's funny, like
Summer, yeah.
I was saying before, the barriers to entry are quite high, but there's been a couple of sunscreens start up, and there was this one that started up. It would have been the October after us, and they just like their timeline was perfect. Like they received their product in June. They had this really
Yeah.
beautiful like
Branding,
content branding shoot launched in October, going into summer, and we just got to the point where we're like, we put too much into this. We're launching now. We're going into winter. Like
And like our original tube's classic, but like it's kind of scuffed as well. Like there's definitely some issues with
yeah,
it.
the new ones look a lot better than the old ones, but we were
Wow.
just like, right, this we're going to build this plane while we fucking fly. Like we're taking off.
But it's a testament to like minimum viable product. Like
Yeah.
you just got to get something as soon as possible, start testing.
Get
I mean, we
feedback.
definitely didn't do it as soon as possible. Like
So there's a pretty good lesson in there. Let's break that down, right? Because
Yeah.
again, the people who listen to this potentially haven't started a business yet. So we're talking about minimum viable products. What does that mean in your world, and how did you really kind of come to that? And then what did you change after that?
like it just doesn't need to be perfect. It just whatever the concept is, just get it to a good enough point where you can put it in front of people,
get feedback,
get
and change
feedback,
it.
see whether they
Yeah.
like it. And I mean, we definitely took that approach with like the website and the Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I mean, content's one. Like you just
Content,
evolve. It's that thing. You double down. Like put it out to your customers. What do you like? Get feedback from them. Like then use that to alter what you're doing and moving it forward. But like the products, like the new ones we've got, the packaging is like, I wish I would have brought a tube here, but like we on the first one, like the SPF 50 is quite small on the front, like just by the way we did it. And then like we just had all of our stockists being like, you got to make SPF 50 bigger because like we're
That's
in
what
like
we're
some
looking for.
stockists up in Airlie Beach, and that's all English. I don't know why I point to you on this one there as well, but we'll just look for SPF 50 and that's the thing. So then the second packaging evolves and we did SPF 50 there, and then the third packaging has evolved again because we've just
even
made it
bigger
look, it's like it's huge now. So
Yeah.
like just evolving that, but just getting something to the market, because that's the thing. Like you can learn a lot prior, and like back's going into reading the books, and there's some sales books I read which I wish I read when I was doing recruitment.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me, man. Like some of them would have helped so
Bit of
much.
cheat code.
Because I do in like just my personal life now, like not, that makes it sound super sleazy, but like, like there's all like, the Robert Kiyosaki, that influence
the
book,
influence
like
is so good.
that everyone should read that. Not even sales business, like everyone should read
What's
that
that one?
book. Robert
Yeah.
Kiyosaki, Influence. It's unbelievable.
He's got a doctorate in influence.
yeah,
Funnily
psychology,
enough,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he talks about like the 7 levels of influence. There's obviously like reciprocation and stuff like much more likely to help someone if you're from the same place as them and stuff like that. So there's all these levels of influence.
And there's like there's examples throughout it. It was just a really
it's
learn. So like,
it's a good gift. That's always mine. Whenever I
nice.
need to buy a
Yeah.
gift for someone, I give them that.
but that like pre-learning part, but the other part about learning is just like learning in it. Like once you're in it, that's when you'll learn the most. Like that's what we found with this. Like, and we haven't been married to our ideas. Like that's one thing I think we're quite good at. Like the way we saw the business 6 months ago has completely changed. Like we just find what we're doing well, what's there, and then
Yeah, you got to allow yourself to be pushed in the direction of where the market is pushing you. Like you can't. If something's not working, you're just beating a dead horse. And like path of least resistance as well. Like the construction companies for us are, because early on we sort of had to make the decision around whether to do e-commerce or to go into stores. And obviously like during COVID, e-commerce just boomed and sort of everyone was doing it. And we thought if we wanted to be legitimate, we got to go retail.
with sunscreen.
With sunscreen. Yeah.
Because like the sunscreen, as much as we can build this brand through our social media, through things that we're doing online, everything else, sunscreen fundamentally is a commodity product. It's something that people think of when they forget it at the beach or haven't put it on, and they go, what's closest, and they'll go grab it. So that was our theory from the start, and we're like, we also only had the one SKU at the start, so it was hard to sort of build that average order value to go hard at e-commerce, so you can have that sort of margin to work with to get customers. So we just went hard on B2B. It's where I think my skill set lies, is getting in front of people. And we're in like 400 odd stores now, but it's just like having it there, so when people think about it, they grab it, which was why we did a lot of the construction wholesalers.
And because we'll go back to e-commerce and do it properly eventually, but it's much easier when you got the foundation of
And a bit more brand presence.
And more
as well.
products, brand presence, more products as well to work with, and like you can bundle and everything else. But
Sounds like action was your superpower.
Yeah.
Like talking about the way you're doing it, it's like not obsessing over. I think people say analysis paralysis, don't they? And that's the person that designs their logo and tweaks it 5 million times before they actually launch. It's just getting out there and having a crack. And like you say, get a V1 on the market, take the feedback, refine.
It's the quickest way you're going to learn.
But even the adaptability to listening to your market, what's happening. I recruit for so many big e-commerce brands here on the Gold Coast. And I say, what's the number one challenge for this person coming into this business? And they're like, it changes so fucking quickly. They're like, you'll be working on one project and you'll have been working on it for 2 months and the owner walks in the next day and goes, we've got to scrap that. Someone else has done something different that's boomed overnight. We've got to go and do this. So that adaptability, you might not know it yet, but that'll probably be your superpower in that world.
Yeah. And it is something that I think we both know we will continue on into the future, is that like wherever there's an opportunity, like we will go. Because that's the other thing, like, obviously, we've learned a lot about sunscreen now to the point where we care about it. The fundamentally, the thing we both like is business. Like, we like being in business. And, like, I think it's just a good principle to have going into business. Like, you need to be very quick to adapt and learn and move into different areas. And, taking action is the first part of that. Like,
how's the mindset evolved? Like, me and Ads found at the start, we had, like, imposter syndrome almost. And then you get to the new level and you start to feel comfortable. And then we start hiring people and grow a team. And you get imposter syndrome again. And then you get comfortable. And then you're like, now we've got a podcast. And then you get comfortable and it's like, hey, now your overheads are fucking north of 6 figures a month. So it's that new level and it's just fucking never changes. It never stops, does it?
I've found in terms of like the mindset, you obviously have your very good days and very bad days. And like, you know, Lockie and I are both big advocates for speaking up, you know, to give 10% props to TX, but we both go see therapists. And I was actually speaking to him about this last week. And I was saying that the mindset to it is imposter syndrome. I always like questioned like whether what I was doing was luck or, you know, but that was like recruitment. It was my degree. It was everything you threw there. The one thing that's been like, there's been a lot of good things about the business, but like one of the things that's been really good personally for me is like, there is no clear indication when you action something and you see a result of it for yourself. So building that imposter syndrome is just by doing it. And you're like, okay, well, we are doing that now. And like, I've learned that a lot about myself throughout this process, but like, I think with mindset in terms of the business self, the goalposts just move. Like, you know, our goals change what we're looking for. And we've always put ourselves in a position where we are that small fish. So like, you know, say imposter syndrome from a business side, like we're speaking to businesses that annual revenue outpaces the GDP of some countries. Like they're fucking huge. And like, you know, walking in and we'll always have that. But I like that mentality because what's the worst that's going to happen?
How'd you deal with it? Is it that mindset of what's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that's going to happen? But also like,
I think we're also confident that like, especially with the construction company stuff, like we're confident we have the best offering as well.
Yeah.
Like
which
helps for
like,
sure.
Knowing that you like, we're not selling, like we genuinely believe our products will add value to these the not only the customers being the construction companies, but also their staff, because the feedback we got was, zinc's too thick when you're working and the sunscreen that's there at the moment is shit. So we've gone to the middle where Lockie's sister has eczema, so it's suitable for sensitive skin, but it's like a aloe vera moisturizing formula that people actually want to wear, and that's what the feedback we've got across. So having that belief that it is a value add for these companies, and, you know, we still have that form of social impact where by them supporting us, they're supporting TAX who offer free counselling service for blue collar workers. So it's just this loop that goes through. So having that confidence, and also we've found success with it as well, which helps going in there. Like I'm confident.
Yeah. And I think like almost as it's grown and starting to get bigger, like the goalposts are moving, but it almost also in a way becomes more simple. Like the startup process felt so hectic. Like there was like so much to learn, like so much random shit to do. And like now it's kind of like, okay, the foundations are laid, everything's set up. And we always try and like simplify it down to like, what do we need to do to grow this as simply put as possible? It's like get more stores, get more construction companies, post more content. That's it. Like that's the keep it like so simple, and then it branch out from there. But I think the mindset's become not easier, but like more simple.
What was the first win that you got on where you went, fuck, we're onto something here?
I'll go first then, because we left our jobs, 5 weeks later, we did our first 5-figure invoice, which is weird because coming from recruitment, you see them all the time. And then when you start your own business, like, fucking hell, that is a lot of money. Like, you know, you're doing these like temp to perm fees, like, oh, it's like grand, it's whatever. It's like, you know, going through it. But like when we left 5 weeks later, we did our first 5-figure invoice, which was like a nationwide construction wholesale across like electrical plant. It's BGW Group. I don't know.
It's a secret.
Yeah, we post it all the fucking time. I don't think these lads are going to steal our sockets. But yeah, that was huge because that was like within 5 weeks we'd done it, and I was like, holy shit, like this is, you know, there's an appetite there. And then when that happened, like a month later, they made a reorder, and I was like, because it's one thing for us, and again, it's what we've learned we're good at is selling into stores. We can control that process to a degree. Like, you know, we can tell them why it's going to have value. The one thing we have zero control over is their customers coming in, buying it, liking it, coming back, grabbing more, and then they come to us and like reorder. And like when you get reorders, it's just like we got a reorder from them straight away. I'm like, okay, this is good. We're like we can actually do this. And then that was a big win in terms of.
I think it's probably the same for me. That was definitely when it started to feel like, oh, this is good. The reorders, it's the best feeling because we've definitely had stores where we've put it in and it just hasn't moved. Like that just happens. And
which was again that learning thing you were talking about, like, you know, learning on it. Like we went really hard on like chemists and everything there, and we were just looking at the data of our stores and being like, okay, these are reorders here, but I mean, this isn't gonna, you know, it wasn't any groundbreaking insight, but like we're competing with so many sunscreens in these stores and we only have the one SKU. Like your eyes naturally just going to be drawn to if there's 10 banana boat products. Not to plug a different sunscreen, but like, you know,
wankers.
Yeah.
And I think also like one of the first big wins as well was Trade Tools. On the Gold Coast, and they put it, so like 24 stores, and but they put it on the counter.
Nice.
And we've kind of we've said to places, and we've built enough evidence now. Like Trade Tools, we kind of just went in blind with no evidence.
That was
and
mental.
Just said this is a counter product, like needs to be on the counter. No one's coming in here looking for sunscreen, but they need it.
Just gambled.
They will take it on their way out.
In like the chemists and stuff, you have to pay for, because obviously prime real estate.
Sure.
And like, but I mean, it does make sense. Like you said, like no one is going into Trade Tools or C&W Electrical looking for sunscreen. It's as they're leaving, they've got their work card there. It's also a write-off for tradies, like, you know, any sunscreen you're using there. And by having on the counter for the business, it's just revenue on the literally on the counter they're leaving if they don't put it there.
But then again, we're like, okay, well that works. What are other stores where there's really no other choice in sunscreen and it should be on the counter?
Golf courses,
BGW Group, and then we sort of started pursuing that.
Which is also been good because it's like before, was doing streamline things. Using that now, we don't waste time with like don't get me wrong. Down the line, if we have like 8 products, like we will go chemist. But like for the moment, while we've got, you know, we'll have 3 from December. I reckon next year we'll probably introduce a zinc or 2. We just go for where we're not competing with, but people who are going in there, who are in there, the customers are going to be spending time outdoors. So. Yeah, that was Trade Tools was actually a big win because that just gave us the confidence. And again, they were like reordering it as well. We dropped off to every store. That was such a waste of time. we had these Richie's Group IGAs. I just remember this now. And they're from, was Tari was the most southern one? Yeah. And we drove down to Tari on a Sunday night. Like we're like, oh, we'll just sleep in the car when we get down there. So we left at like 6 from Tweed, 4 from Tweed, got there at like 11. It was fucking freezing in July, and we're like, oh, fuck this. We got a motel, but the next day we drove in and stopped at each of the third, because it's our first chain of stores, and we wanted to introduce ourselves in person and say thank you. And the store manager's like, who the fuck are you? Like, because the head office has bought them, so they're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, oh, here's our sunscreen. Like, oh, great, just leave it there and get out. But it was a funny learning experience, like going up and down, but long drive but to just meet 13 people to tell us to fuck off.
But that's the entrepreneurial spirit. Like, you just throw yourself out there, you have a crack, and you go, do you know what? Yeah, they didn't know who we are, but they still, at the end of the day, they still got the order. They do now, and hopefully they're a recurring client. Like, it's that first step, and that's, I think I said, so many people don't do it. It's just that self-belief or that fear of rejection. So how
we were also in a lucky position that there's no kids, no mortgage, like, you know,
doing a young's good.
There's nothing really good. There's nothing there. So like it's the perfect time to do it for me anyway, because I was like, when the fuck else am I gonna, you know, because, you know, down the line, a wife or, you know, kids and mortgage and all these other things that are, you know, you don't talk about fears of, you know, leaving a job, like they are your responsibilities. I have fucking no responsibility. Just like, you know, there's.
What about the growth then? So you boys have been grafting your ass off for a few years now. As people, do you think you've changed from what you were 3 years ago pre-launch?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In what
I
way?
think our frontal lobes definitely developed.
Yeah, turned 25 during it.
Turned
so
25, yeah.
Science stacks up.
But yeah, I think like it forces you to be more mature, I guess. Especially like every single person we're sort of interacting with, whether it's customers or anything like that, are older than us most of the time. So I think getting comfortable, I don't know, a good way to put it, like on their level, or you don't want to come across as two young blokes. You want to come across as
it's the master slave relationship we talk about a lot in recruitment, isn't it? Like where you put clients on a pedestal, or like a big CFO of a company. I used to shit my pants trying to call some of these prospect CFOs of massive companies. I'm like, they're on 400 grand a year. I think it was Ads that actually said it to me. He's like, mate, if you smashing your targets, and now we've started Harwell most definitely, he's like, you'll earn more money than all of them. And he's like, and you've built a business and most of them haven't. He's like, so why are you so scared about calling them?
Yeah.
And as soon as you have that mindset shift, it just changes the game for you.
Yeah, I think just being authentic as well and just going, hey, we're having a crack here, we're starting this business. Do you want to support us?
Well, that's the thing. Like people, that's not in any of the books or what anyone's highest point is. But, everyone says like tall poppy syndrome in Australia. And like to a degree, if someone's selling some bullshit course online, they should be fucking slammed for it, and fair enough. But like if you're like, we're coming to the market with like, we're tackling the national cancer, we're speaking to those most at risk, we're having a social impact. Like it's something that people want to get behind. And that's the one thing that's on it. People do want to see people succeed, especially young people in business. Like we've met with some CEOs from businesses who have so much more important things to worry about than fucking sunscreen. I was sitting there being like we literally saying there being like, sunscreen's not even a blip on your radar, but they are. Like we're meeting with Australia's largest privately owned infrastructure company CEOs next Friday. We have no right sitting in that room with him, but he wants to help us. Like he wants to, he's read the story, seen it through there. It's like,
how'd you get that meeting?
Well, we'd sort of put him on the Dream 100 list, and then my old school did a post about the business because they bought it and put it in the students there, and he was an old boy at the school and emailed through the...
because they were on our list, so we have like a contact us.
This is in that book. It was in one of the Ultimate Sales Machine, Dream 100. Yeah. So when we started off, we put our Dream 100 clients down of like who we want, and they were in there. And
then like, because all those messages through the website come to me, and one came through and it's like, oh, hey, my name's Scott, I'm CEO of BM. That's all right.
Big company.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck,
Yeah, my name's Scott, CEO of BND. Love to help you guys out. Saw the thing that I own posted, and I was like, holy crap.
That works out.
Insane.
But like, again, that's not him giving a call. Like he's gone the time to go onto our website, send an email. Like he wants to see us, like we're meeting him next week. So hopefully it goes well. But like people go out of their way to help out. So
I completely agree. I think we had so much of that, and we still do now. But my big thing is always being worthy of help. And what I mean by that is if you go and speak to Scott, right? And he goes, boys, to get on a supplier list, you need to do A, B, and C. And you go and action that, and you ask good questions, and you go and show him the work you've done and the improvements you've made, and you come back to him on time, and you rock up to the meeting on time, and you're professional, you're polite. That's being worthy of help. It's the people who offer an olive branch, and then you might rock up to the meeting late. They might say, why don't you try A, B, C, and you never implemented it. You've just wasted their time. And just the way you boys will come across, whatever he said, you go and do it within reason. Obviously.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
There's so much power and so many lessons that your whole journey, like all the small pieces that will be stacking up that get you to that point. It's like the way that you took the time to think, what should we do for business, right? You want to do something with mental health. You looked at CBD, but you didn't just pick any product. You actually took the time to do the research. You found some stats behind it that you're actually solving a massive problem in Australia. You're linking it to men's mental health. All of those small things that you did back then before you even had a design or a product is what's helping you win now, because those people want to see you win. And that's also why you're so confident to go and position yourself and sell it, because you're going, I don't care about calling strangers because we believe in our product and our offering and the problem we're trying to solve so much that I'm doing a disjustice if I don't try and call you or don't try and pitch you.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram at Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app.
Well, like it's the setting it up the way it did. Like that's a lot of things. Also, one thing, luck does come into it. Like there's definitely an element of luck that comes. You put yourself in a position to be lucky, but like having those, there's things that Lockie set up at the start of it, which do give us that confidence to go in and then it's just about stacking wins. Like the more success you have, it gives you more confidence to go on and you refine your pitch or more confident to put in another PO for tubes. Like
I feel like business is just an exercise in incremental improvement. Like that's it. Small incremental improvements over a long period of time.
Has there been any moments where you've gone, what the fuck are we doing? Like we're gonna pull the plug here.
Never pull the plug, but what the fuck are we doing? 100%.
Some embarrassing videos. What are we doing?
Fuck, I get them all the time. Like some of the videos just sell your dignity on like social media. Like it's just, and like that's the annoying thing as well. Like let's talk about e-commerce. Like we're not even a fucking e-commerce brand. Like we don't get sales from those videos. It's literally just building brand awareness. But like the other side of that coin is, you mentioned the word authenticity before. You go in, you meet a business, they go through. Within fucking 9 swipes, you've got a pretty fucking good idea of who we are. Like, taking the piss out of ourselves and building the business in plain sight. But yeah, there's like that welcome to summer. I'm fucking in a bathtub, like serenading summer. Like, what the fuck are we doing? This is.
Oh, I love it.
But
never pull the plug. And there's definitely been low points.
You're sacrificing a lot though. Like you told us before we started recording. We were moving back to Brisbane, moving in with your parents.
Yeah, so we both grew up in Brizzy. Both went to school. Lockie, both of us went to school in Brizzy and then moved down here. And then, we were just spending a lot of time up in Brisbane. And, this is technically it's our first full summer working on the business full time. But like, we had last summer, we were bouncing jobs, whatever. And spending a lot of time in Brisbane. We're like, let's just every dollar possible just keep inside this business because every startup has those things there. So we went back to Brisbane. I mean, we were both lucky enough as well to have parents in Brisbane where we could just go back to and just keep everything there. There's an element of sacrifice, like
and we just weren't making the most of being down the coast anyway. Like we had like a 5-week period where I think we spent 1 week at Tweed and the other 4 weeks we were up in Brisbane staying at home anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, just because it would be up there, and if you're like, so there's an element of sacrifice, but like I do want to precursor that because our mates who are listening, we haven't sacrificed everything. Like we still like to
still like to have fun.
Still like to have fun. Still like to have fun. Like it's a balance out, and it's one thing that like I think one of the many reasons that Lockie and I work well as a business partnership. And before I say luck, there's every chance maybe not, but when something goes that's completely out of control and fucks the business. And then do we want to look back at like our 20s and be like, oh, we worked on this and then it was taken away from us and like resent it? Like, no. So like find that balance of being like, it's here, but enjoying, growing up, but also enjoying the ride of the business as well. Like I think that's one thing we're good at is reminiscing on like on times with it and making sure that we are staying pretty conscious and clear of like what's happening. Cause
and I think like, we definitely try and reward milestones and stuff like that. And also try and, like when we were working jobs at the same time, it was impossible to have any sort of balance really. You're just like waking up, working all through the day and going to sleep. And then
that was,
but I think, there's this, so in Silicon Valley, there's sort of this like mentality, you got to be working like 16 hours a day and grinding super, super hard. And I think that's not 100% necessary. And I think like, especially with where AI is going and the time, I think the best thing that AI can do for workers and doing work is just giving people time back. I think we've definitely seen that, especially 100%. Where it's all going. But we've definitely made an effort to be like, all right, we still need to enjoy ourselves. Like we have to like this, and it comes and goes in waves. Like you have periods where you're working super, super, super hard, and then you have periods where you're not.
Enjoy life a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm keen to learn about the split of the roles. Now, me and Harves, up until what month are you now? August, up until Christmas this year.
It's September.
Is it? Oh, I don't know. We pretty much just attacked everything together, right? We didn't really go, you do this, I'll do that. But then business got to a point where we're like, we need to split up our time here and kind of divide and conquer. And that's still a work in progress. What's the strategy for the two of you? It seems like you've probably got different strengths and different parts of the business which you enjoy more. What's the divide?
Well, I think he's good at what I'm not great at, and I'm good at what he's not great at, which has worked out really well.
What's Jake not great at? Just for context.
No, he's good at everything.
no, like
the numbers and all that sort of stuff.
No, genuinely, like that's like where my skills don't lie. Like, it's like if I had to write like where my skills didn't lie, like there was a Venn diagram of things. Like a lot of them would be in Lockie's strengths and like go through there. Like, so it's kind of naturally let jobs like. It's not like we sat down and we're like, okay, you do that part, I'll do that part. Like kind of naturally, the job sort of fell under skill set. So there wasn't like that. I'm not sure if that's how you two did it, by the way.
I think we got to a point where we'd grown to maybe 8 staff, and it was like, okay, something's got to change. Like now we're in a business where we need like management structures and stuff like that, reporting lines. Ads doesn't really love managing or people or coaching people early on in their career, whereas I do prefer that. So we kind of came at a crossroads of like, what do we do? We either, at 8 to 10 staff as a recruitment company, where founders are heavily on the tools, that's not sustainable. You've got to go one or two ways. You either go back to just having 3 or 4 of you and you're super low overhead, super high profit, or you push through that 10 mark and try and get probably to 15 or 20 people, pull yourself off the tools to do things like other investments. So that's the crossroads we came to. And we're like, what do our roles need to be to push through that? Or what do we both like doing and not like doing? And we wrote those down on a whiteboard, didn't we? And we were like, okay, what are the options? If we take option A of downsize and just go back to this, does it tick the boxes? Does it give us the long-term goals we want? If we go for option B and grow, is there a world where Harv can do what he likes, Ad can do what he likes, and as a collective, we're both happy with the day-to-day, but the overarching long-term goal is also where we want to be. So that's what we did, and that's what we landed on. So long answer, but all to take you through, because it'll be a valuable process for you boys.
Yeah, well, that would be a good exercise. I think we'd both know where the lie where, but it was kind of a natural thing. Like I like I said at the start, like I've always liked getting in front of people and seeing opportunities there. So, you know, going out, generating business, like I think that's sort of where like building like, or I guess, you know, starting, growing and maintaining relationships is sort of where I see. So like our current stockers, make sure it's there. Partnerships for, you know, marketing or whatever it may be, like, you know, different opportunities there, and then going and getting in front of new business and bringing them in there. And then I was
everything else.
Operations, logistics, books.
But you'll need to keep doing that as well, because there'll be stuff that you both don't like doing, and that's where you hire someone. So on that list, we both hated low-level admin, just stuff that was time-consuming, wasn't client-facing, revenue-generating. So that was a PD for an executive assistant. We hired Jess 4 to 6 weeks ago now. Feels like she's been here 3 months. Don't know how we ever operated without her. Like it's like if she didn't come in now, we'd cook, probably have no missos and both be here 20 hours a day. But that's a process where you'll go through and work that as well.
I think like marketing's one of the things for us, which is funny because like the brand is, I mean, the branding's really cool and it's like you could do so much with the marketing. It's not like we dislike marketing, like there's so many cool ideas you could do with it, bro.
That's what we thought about. Like if we were going to hire someone at the back end of this year, just like a couple of days a week, just because there is the bones there to like really, you know, have fun with it and like be
in the right hands.
In the right, Like, because we feel like we've sort of built a tone and everything there, but like
time,
like TikTok, neither of us go on fucking TikTok, and like there's such an opportunity there. Like if someone like knew what was going on, but like we
trends and stuff,
trends, like I don't know, fucking. But like there would be a great opportunity there.
Ads loves it.
Sean Joel. But yeah, so I guess the jobs sort of naturally split themselves out to
I'm keen to dive into partnerships. You mentioned one in the green room before with the skin check guys. That sounds really good and obviously a nice add-on for the service you provide to be able to take it one step backwards, I guess, more preventative rather than, what's the other word?
Well, no, because sunscreen is a preventative measure. That's just, I guess, preventative in terms of skin checks. But yeah, we wanted to look at it. We were looking at it back in the last year, actually buying our own van, and we did this huge announcement that we were going to buy these fleet of vans and drive to construction sites and do skin checks. And obviously, we're not fucking doctors, so like, you know, that would just, it left us pretty liable if we missed something or misdiagnosed or whatever. And then there's a charity, Skin Check Champions down in Sydney, and he actually reached out, and yeah, a big part of it for us was like we saw 30% of Australians have never had their skin checked, 60% haven't in the last 12 months. Like we've got the highest incidence rates in the world. The mortality rate at stage 1 of skin cancer is one of the lowest of all forms of cancer, and at stage 4 it's one of the highest. So it's quite clear evidence that like it is something that like it's one of those situations where like prevention, you know, the cost of prevention highly outweighs the cost of like dealing. Like cost the healthcare system 1.68 billion in the 2019 financial year, like skin cancer. So we wanted to like sort of get that early prevention in terms of skin checks. He reached out. He was like, I love what you boys are doing, but I don't think you understand the mammoth of this. Like you can get in a lot of trouble if you go through it.
And also a van, you can only fit one bed in it. So you can do about 20 to 25 checks a day.
Yeah.
Which isn't a lot.
And when do you run the business? If you're out on the road doing skin checks all the time.
Again, this is another one. So we just said it. Like, we're like, and we're like, oh, fuck, like, there's actually so much.
We're like, oh, it's a great idea. And then when we look into it, like, that's.
Right, we did this huge announcement video on Instagram and got like 170,000 views. And then we just like haven't done. Like, it was good to meet with them and we sat down and they're like an unreal organization. Like, Drew runs it. He lost his mate 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah, they were in their early 20s.
Yeah. Oh, it was that long?
Yeah, I think it was that long ago, yeah.
To skin cancer. So he started this charity and then, our goal is like they've partnered with organizations where they've been at like real like the corporate days and like obviously we're trying to get in front of tradies now to workers and like that's where the most at risk Australians are. So it kind of makes sense for them as well to join us. So
yeah, because they do corporate skin check days where they'll provide a service to a business, they'll pay for the skin checks, and then the proceeds get funneled into the free
community ones.
days.
So going to community days and giving those skin checks to people who can't provide it. So yeah, it's a bit of a no-brainer when they reached out. So we're working with them now, and like we've done a construction company up in Brisbane, Kane. Their Brisbane team had skin checks there, and the feedback was great. They're going to work with CV Services and South Queensland Water. So just getting them in there and. For us, it's also part of that, you know, getting skin checks to those people who are most at risk, our target audience. And
even though like they're a separate business, like in a way it becomes part of our offering or like at least associated with a charity, which is like only good for the brand image. So it was just a no-brainer,
Love it. And there's a new product coming out.
Yes. Because when we launched, we had the 150 mil tube, which was the right call. Like, because, you know, as much as like we see where the business is going, it is going to be heavily on those bigger pump packs and get onto job sites. It was the right call to 150 mil first because, you know, easy for people to sort of get behind initially and build that audience and, you know, get into retailers there. But early December, we've got the 500 mil pump packs and 60 mils arriving.
To give you an idea of lead time for a new product, so the 26 weeks is for reorders. So we put the purchase order down the 500 mils in. It's like mid-March.
It's 34 weeks for new products.
And we get them in December.
So like it makes it impossible to scale. That's what I mean. That's why sunscreen is on because it's like your cash all tied there. You got to sell it, and that's why we raised capital. That is why we raised capital because one thing we've learned is we have no trouble getting in front of people, but our conversion rate is relatively it's actually quite high. Like I guess to what I thought it was going to be when we started. So we've got no trouble selling them. But like the only thing that's limiting our revenue is the amount of stock we have, and that is by cash we have to put into stock to sort of sell. So it's that cycle there. So
it'd be so hard to bootstrap.
For someone that doesn't know what that means, raising capital.
Yeah, the back end of last year we put a pitch deck together, an investor pack, and reached out to investors to see who wanted to get on board. And family and friends were investors, and then some of our investors are just people we've met along the way, like mentors who've. Yeah, it was just dude we met. It was just one of those great blokes. Like he's helped us. Like he's just a business nuffy. Like a nuffy. He loves it. And
so you got multiple investors rather than just one.
Yeah. Multiple investors. So raise capital, and through there we explained to them that this is exactly what we're doing now is what the goal was to get bigger products, get them onto job sites, and then go through that process. So we've got
And I think the other thing with raising the investment. The other reason we wanted to do it is then it wasn't just our money in it. Like obviously it helps us grow the business and all that, but then having other people's money in it is like even more of an incentive.
It's stress. Like, it's one thing where you go like, oh, we can lose 135 grand. But like
accountability.
And friends and family as well, right? It's not like just some no-face investors.
It's pretty good though. Like the friends and family have got to just, you know, they know what we're doing in the pitch they went through. But it's still daunting. Like it's a fucking shit ton of money to see in an account. And you're like, okay, I got to make it this all work. And so we've got them arriving, and then you want to talk about like betting on yourself. So they arrive early December, but like yesterday we put in another order for more of them. We haven't even seen them yet because of that 6 months lead time.
Yeah.
Because by what we've projected, like the summer's going to take a pretty big dent out of those 500 mils we've got going. So then by March we've got some more, and so they'll be arriving and going through. And the whole plan is to get them into job sites, but also schools. So a couple of Brisbane schools have bought them for each of the classrooms, and we're going and doing presentations, like setting those habits early. Like we met with Skin Cancer Prevention Queensland, and they were saying like children, like the no hat, no play, quite obedient up until sort of was year 7,
like 14 to 15.
14, and it's just this black hole, like where nothing gets through, and like through there. So we're trying to go into there, and I guess maybe it help being like a little bit younger and like speaking on
branding being cool as well, rather than some bull.
exactly like naturally
and associate instead with like going and doing a talk at a school. I think you need to catch them when they're doing something they enjoy doing, like rugby. If they're at rugby practice or something, like attach it to something they're really enjoying themselves doing instead of like
alignment.
Pulling them from math class into a talk about skin cancer. They're just like
just gone.
So those products will be on the way, and then it will be just getting them. Like we'll put them in some of our retail stockers for sure. Those 500 mils and 60 mils. But I think trajectory of the business is like those bigger sizes, and we've already partnered with like set up as a supplier for some huge construction companies. Like Downer Group we're set up as a supplier for. So they're obviously
massive,
humongous. So going there, and then that will get it onto job sites. Then it's just figuring out like the thing we're learning, which you would learn with the constructions, like sort of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 stage, because tier 1's subcontract the work out, and it's like who's buying the fucking sunscreen? Like where do we meet? So that's exciting, and that will be keep us busy over the summer, and I mean we'll be fucking swamped. Actually.
Yeah, you're not going to be not busy, boys. I've got a quiz for you.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
So I want to find out who's the brains. And
Lachlan.
We just established that, didn't we?
Yeah. So I've got a 5-question
get this right.
quiz on sunscreen.
So you got to pick buzzer, but you got to pick each other's buzzer.
Okay. I was going to make it confusing for you and say Jake and Lachlan, but that's
That confused me.
all right. I'll say Adam, you say Harvey.
Okay.
Cool. So it's first one. There is one closest to, so I'll take the first buzz. What does SPF stand for?
Adam. Sun protection factor.
Bang, 1-0. Which type of UV radiation penetrates deeper into the skin and contributes most to aging? UVA or UVB?
Adam.
Oh,
B.
A. 1-0. This one's closest too, so I'll get both answers. How many milliliters of sunscreen should an average adult apply for a full body coverage?
35 mil.
30 mil.
35.
No.
Good, 2-1. The comeback's back. This one's first two. How long before going outside should you apply sunscreen?
Adam. 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Desmond.
Desmond
The decider.
What is the one part of the body most people forget to apply sunscreen?
Adam. That was
No.
Ears.
Ears.
Yeah.
He's got him.
Oh, okay.
That's a ChatGPT special. So don't quite on that.
3-2.
Good work, lads.
Boys, that was awesome.
Rio and Gamoa in the 10th minute.
Energy-wise, like, there's no doubt that you boys are so invested into what you've done. The growth you've had, that's not a secret. It's not an accident. Like, people want to help good people, and the fact that you boys have built it out in public, which is fucking scary. The fact you actually took the chance to do it anyway, so scary. The cause and the mission and who you're trying to help is just bang on.
Can I ask you two questions before we go?
100%.
What piece of advice would you give us? Each of you.
Yeah.
From where you were, 3 years ago? I know it was service
I've got
business.
mine easy.
Yeah.
Systemize and process absolutely everything now, because in 5 years' time, if you don't, you're going to fucking kick yourself. That was our issue and problem. It was, we know how to recruit, and we just tell other people how to recruit. Like, it's not that hard, but it is. You know, everything's got to be, you do this and you do that. You do that and this.
And everything is in like your training and all of that for when you get new people and like what those processes look like and everything.
We're still working through that. We're not perfect, the finished article. And then with AI coming in as well, we'd probably be a bit further ahead with the enablement of that if we'd had everything documented. So because we knew we're getting AI enablement across a business, we now need to go back and get all the SOPs in, so it's got the right info to put in, so we get the right info out. So that's my absolute golden nugget.
Mine would be the first people you bring into the business. We were so lucky that the first two people we hired were Andy and Chloe. who were good friends of ours, and we'd worked together with them. So we knew exactly what we'd get from them. We knew that they'd treat it like their own. The next 3 hires we made, ironically, for recruitment agency owners, our hiring process was really poor. And we hired 3 wrong people, and it burnt through tens of thousands of dollars of our cash. It burnt through hundreds of hours of our time on the wrong people. We learned from that, and I don't regret that, because we've now found the exact people that are Harwell through and through, and the next hires after that are perfect. But for a business like yours, where it's a bit more capital intensive, we're lucky, right? We just waste our time effectively. But where yours is a lot more capital intensive, I think you get the wrong people early on, it can be really damaging.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and I guess. Yeah, because the more you guys have been, like, obviously it becomes easier to hire, like you see,
Have more of a
patterns in
blueprint
people.
and what you're looking for.
Yeah,
That's the golden nuggets.
that'll definitely be a big thing. Like we sort of talked about like hiring the first person, but that'll be a crazy moment.
Things change mindset, just kind of, we've got to go. But like when we first started off, we would like spend time like talk about like the culture we're trying to create in the business and what we wanted that to be for staff. And like, you know, like you said before, when we were talking about AI, like one big thing of it is like giving people's time back. Like, you know, we'd love to like enforce those sort of like 4 days, or like, you know, during the summer, finish it half day on a Friday, during the winter start halfway through a Monday, just random stuff like that. But as time has gone on, we've just gone like,
It's not the
having
it's
staff. Like it's you know, because it's hard. Like to get it right, but like to continue to grow the business. I can imagine recruitment be on steroids, because you're trying to do your job whilst growing the business. But
you got to remember as well, you're in startup mode. So we did that. We promised these people the world. It's fucking easy when you come in through the door. It's this, that, and the other. And when people are doing well, if you want to leave early, you can. But that only comes after success and performance, and you get that from working really hard. So I think have the nice idea of a 4-day week or a half day on the Friday, but your first staff come in. Be really honest with where you're at. Say, we're in startup mode. We've tipped in 135K of our own money. We've got investors. We've got our families. Our friends have put money in. You've got to come in and work like this business is your own, because we give it absolutely everything. Get that first. Instill that in them. If then someone gives you that full commitment and effort, then you go, okay, we're going to reward you by going and doing that. But no one comes through the door and has that.
It's easy.
Has that
it's a reward. It's not a right.
No one comes out and has that as a right, because straight away it just instills a mindset that, okay, we're here to cruise. We have a 4-day week or an early Friday. And
you know what I found though, right, is we thought that was what we needed to say to people to get them interested to work here, or that to be the great place to work. What they actually want is purpose, and they want to feel like they're committed to the overall cause, which now we're super clear on where the business is going and the different things we're trying to do. The guys have got no problem to work hard, because they know it's all contributing. It's not just ticking a box, doing a few KPIs and what's on for the weekend. I think for you guys, the cause and the mission, that's the most obvious thing you got. And I think the people you attract because of that will be that way inclined, rather than the shit kickers who want to clock in 5 minutes late and leave 5 minutes early.
You're right. Yeah, completely right.
I wonder who we will hire first. But that's how we think. When you like look at age,
It'd be
like,
so great. It'd be
they're probably a bit older than us.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
good on you though, boys.
Yeah.
You fucking having a
business meeting on the side.
No, you're having a great crack, like what you're doing in business, and the chances you've taken on yourselves and how hard you've gone at it is, there's so many lessons for people to learn, but also what you're doing and what the mission is around that. Like, it's quite literally saving lives. So good stuff, lads.
If people want to find you on socials, what do they search? Where do they get it out?
Just Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, our website, www.naturallycooked.com.au. But yeah, we've dribbled along on there quite a lot. Don't judge us for it too much. We promise we're better blokes than that. But yeah, we're all across there. And yeah, like if anyone does, want to try tube, there's a store locator there. It's all around the country, and we love hearing feedback. Like, we are sponges to feedback at the moment. Like I've just said, we are in startup phase. The good, the bad. We do like learning about it. So far, it's all been good, thank fuck. But like, we're any feedback from anyone who tries tube, like we love hearing it. Like, shoot us a message or anything you change, or yeah, we'd love to hear it all.
Thanks, boys.
Awesome. Thank you.